Good afternoon. Welcome back to Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends. We're here to discuss what do men really want? Now, as you notice, this is part two because we first brought the men out last year. The show was a huge hit. We listened to our fans and you guys wanted more. So here we are with more. We have some special guests here. We'll be discussing issues relevant to men. We'll hear from a single man's perspective as well as a married man. So we got all the bases covered. But before we get started, I'd like for us to introduce ourselves. If you're new to the show, I am Michelle Skinner. I am a faithful member of Just for Girlfriends, and also a member of the board. I manage their social media sites. So I invite you to join us on social media at Just for Girlfriends on all the platforms. You'll see our handle scrolling on the bottom of the screen. If you think today's conversation is good, join us on social media where we will continue the discussion. Robin, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Robin Mcfarland. I am also a faithful member of Just for Girlfriends and on the board. And happy Black History Month to everybody. That started
Absolutely.
today, right?
Yes.
As well as it's a month of love. I tried to wear pink for that. So I'm ready for part two, you guys. Part one was a big hit. Let's see how it's gonna go down with these other guys today.
Yes. Angelique, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angelique David. I am the founder and CEO of Just for Girlfriends. Just for those new to the show, Just for Girlfriends was born on the premise that women are always often so busy taking care of everybody and everything that we forget to take care of ourselves. So what Just for Girlfriends does is provide amazing, unique experiences to help women embrace self-care. We also have a mighty sisterhood and provide other opportunities for our women to get together, support one another, and then bring conversations like this to blackdoctor.org. So we're excited for this conversation of what do men really want?
Absolutely. So without further ado, let's get into it. We are joined by Daryl and Michael. Walter may be joining us later. Let's bring them out.
Let's hope the
They're
men
taking
didn't get
their
all
time.
scared.
Yeah, no, this is a good introduction. They're taking their time.
Okay, great. Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for being with us here with Real Talk for Just for Girlfriends. And as you can tell by the title, we want some real talk. But before we get into it, I'd like for you to introduce yourselves to our audience. Walter, can you briefly introduce yourself? I mean, not Walter, Michael. Briefly introduce yourself.
All right. Hello. How y'all doing? My name is Michael. I'm 40 years old, originally from Texas, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Okay, tell us, are you married, single, dating?
I
What?
am married. I
You're
am married.
married.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Daryl, please introduce yourselves.
Thank you. My name is Daryl. I'm 54 years old, residing in Ohio, and I am married.
Okay. Okay. So we gonna just jump right into it. We have some questions that if we put our ears to the streets, this is what the women really want to know about what is going on with the men in our lives. So
And
I'll go
and
first. Oh,
I'll
go ahead.
add, I was gonna say before Michelle, I'll add that the last year's show, some of the married men said they got in trouble. So don't y'all go getting in trouble, right?
Ah, yeah, I don't.
Well,
I'm
what
not
street? What
be
streets y'all
afraid
been
of.
listening to?
Yes,
That's
Which
it.
street
Listen
you been
to the
listening to?
streets you listen to. Yeah.
if it's the truth, it can't hurt. The truth will set you
All right.
free, is what I heard.
All right.
Okay, since you guys are both married, I want you to think back to the time when you were pursuing your now wives. So, what made you want to settle down with your wife? Daryl, you go first.
Oh, no problem. Okay, yeah. So, when I met my now wife, we were obviously just students in college, undergrad. We found that we had a circle of friends. So, a group of my friends, a group of her friends, we would get together, different people's apartments, cards, and things like that. And we were hanging out more in a friendship circumstance. Also, we would see each other at the rec center. I'd be playing basketball. She'd be checking IDs for people coming in and out of the rec center. got to talk to her then socially. So I would say our relationship began mainly by way of friendship. And well, I guess one day we decided, hey, why don't we go out? Why don't we be coming out and see how this thing works out? And then we are some 30 years later and still together. So our whole thing began with friendship. Just a group of guys and a group of girls hanging out. Absolutely.
I love that. And they always say you should be friends first because this marriage thing is hard. You got to be friends and stick with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Michael,
Addie,
why don't you tell us what made you want to settle down?
Before Michael goes, I want to address Addie. You said, why not interview single man too? Our third guest is single and will be on. I'm assuming he's finishing up a date or something. So Addie, someone is coming.
We sorry about that. Hopefully he'll hop on. There may have been some confusion with the time zones here. So we're still hopeful that we're going to get a single man on here.
Okay, you want me to go?
Yes, please.
Okay. I wouldn't. In reference to your question, at least the beginning of it, I wouldn't say that I was pursuing my wife in the beginning. I think just like Daryl, it more or less started as a friendship. We were work colleagues first, and we would just see each other all the time. So from there, it kind of blossomed into just hanging out together. And again, like any relationship, it kind of grew from there. And eventually we began to, call each other like boyfriend, girlfriend, and we were, exclusive with each other. But what made me decide to marry her or to ask her to marry me was we had went out one time to Orlando, and I had been out on dates, several dates throughout my, life at the time. And that was probably and we just went down to Universal Studios, but that was probably the best time I had ever had with a female, like ever. And we were just hanging out, just kind of like being kids almost, just running around this amusement park. And from that point on, I knew that, she was going to be something special in my life. So I wasn't going to let her go.
Okay.
Oh, that's sweet.
I love that.
I do too. So I guess if I'm understanding you, it was easy. You didn't have to put in any work to feel comfortable with each other.
Oh, no. Well, my personality type, she knew about me before I knew about her because I had a reputation of just being silly throughout the, organization. That's my personality type. I'm funny. I'm a funny guy. So she knew about me and, me joking around and things like that, just kind of, lend themselves to her just hanging around me more, me hanging around her more, and then just took off from there.
Okay, awesome.
Nice.
So as you saw, the common denominator between these two healthy and long-lasting relationships is that they were friends first. That's awesome. Yeah. I know my other co-host got some questions. So let's go.
Yeah, I want to know, like, what made you want to settle down? So y'all had been dating, right? You had friends, but what said, now I'm ready to settle in with this girl here, this woman here? Either one or both of you. Yeah.
For me, it was going out with or continuing to date and be out in the streets wasn't worth the risk of losing her. So, I had to make a decision whether I'm going to, continue, just mess around in the streets and, hoping for something or, listen to my conscience say, like, you got something good going on right here. And one of my mentors, my older mentor, he pulled me to the side one day and he said, you want to know something? You're going to marry that girl. She always lifts you up. She always strokes your ego. That's what he says. She strokes your ego. I was like, wow. And I have a pretty big ego. So I was like, wow, that's pretty good. All right.
Okay. She said it's pretty good. How about you, Daryl?
Well, plain and simple. I just knew she was the one I wanted to marry at that point in my life. I knew I was getting to a point where I was ready to settle down first and foremost. And we just had a good time together. Like I said, we were friends. We could hang out all day, watch shows. We just go outside, just hang out, go shopping, go to a mall, go to a restaurant. So, we had a lot of commonalities, and it was just easy to be with her. And I just knew that was the girl I was going to marry, plain and simple. Yeah. So
and you were ready. And I heard both of you say we were ready at that time. I felt like I was ready, right? So you got to be ready. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I want to say something to our, hey, Kathy from Cleveland. We have other J4G members in Cleveland, Kathy. So look at the website across and join us. All right, fellas, I got a question that our prior men were a little hesitant to answer. So let's see if you guys are going to be a little more open with us as they laughing already.
Right.
What
They're like, bro code, no, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to ask. What do you talk about with your best friends? What do men talk about? Crickets.
Oh boy, probably not as much as you guys think, really. I mean, golly, it could be almost anything. Seriously, it depends on who you're with, and what's really going on. For instance, if we're watching the game, we're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be talking about game, other athletes in the same sports, other matchups between these particular teams, or something like that. If you're just at a bar having some drinks, it could be absolutely anything. It could be the girl that comes through the door. It could be how the girl looked at this guy over here, or how the girl looked at one of us. I mean, it could be anything. So it just depends on really the moment and really the situation that you're in. If it's a dinner amongst men, you could be talking about work, co-workers, new jobs, new opportunities. Yeah, I mean, it runs the gamut. It's all. I think it's real situational, to be honest with you. One minute it could be this, next minute it could be that. We never lock ourselves. At least my group, my crew, we don't lock ourselves in anything. It could be literally any topic in the world, and we might be on it for hours too.
So, okay, that's interesting. I always wanted to know if men had, really deep conversations, especially about personal stuff, like you said about work. That's going to come up a little bit later. Issues that may happen in the workplace. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you might have an issue with your relationship, and that may come up. You're like, hey, let me run this by you, man, and. Maybe something going at home that you can't quite get together, and you bounce it off your friends. A lot of guys. I mean, at our age, we've seen a lot of couples break up. We see a lot of couples rekindle. But yeah, no. I mean, I've had friends call me and say, "Hey, man, tell me what you think I should do here, or what do you think about this situation? How should I handle this? I'm not feeling good about this. I'm about to go home in a minute, and I really don't want to start this thing off on the wrong foot. So help me out a little bit." So yeah. So yeah, I mean, we can cover all ground. A lot of guys just want to open up, period, right? You got a lot of guys that just don't want to put their business out there.
Okay.
And when you get the ones that do, sometimes it's TMI, right? It's like, okay, whoa, I got to sign up for that, dude. Hold on, but no, it's all seriousness. Yeah, we will talk about anything if you're willing to put that out there for someone to discuss it with you. It could be any topic whatsoever.
Now, Michael, you were in the Navy, so you was on a ship, so you had a lot of bro code time. So,
yeah. I think generally, just generally speaking, you put a group of men together and they'll find common ground in talking about women and sports, right? Those are just general topics that most men will probably gravitate to.
Okay, women in sports.
Women in sports will always be. If you put a group of strange men together, we'll find common ground there. It's going to be this whole battle of who's the alpha male type of thing going on. That dynamic will work in, but just strangers just coming together. Trying to. If I just walk into a room full of men, we'll probably find common ground in talking about sports and women, just generally. Yeah. But as far as my friends, my friends or people that I would consider friends in my life, or just like Daryl, it depends on the situation. It depends on the friend, right? Some people that are close to me, males that I hang out with or may have a beer or two with, they may share some information with me that I wouldn't necessarily. We're not at that level, so I won't talk about my wife with you, but they'll share that with me. But others, I probably will talk about my wife with them or my my marriage or something like that. So, but just like Daryl, I think it just depends on the situation and the person and where I place this person in my life. What the conversation is like. But just generally, we'll talk about sports and women and all these different types of things. If the friend of mine is single, our conversation is going to be different than if I'm talking to another married man. Of course, that conversation is probably going to be a little different. So it just really just depends.
Okay, I just heard from Walter. He is stuck at work. So he's not going to be able to join us.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you guys to think back to your single days, or your single friends. So some of these questions, we will preface it if you were single or when you were single. So It won't be any confusion when you get off. But talking about your conversations with men. Do you, and I'm not trying to make anybody blush, but I'm really curious. Do you discuss ways to please your woman? Like, I tried this work, or what? I need this kind of advice. Do y'all go that far?
You made me
mean
blush.
now? You mean now, or you talking about when we were single?
Right now, I'm talking about when you talk to your, or either one.
Either one.
Either currently or before.
Let me
talk to
just
your
make
male
sure.
friends. Can it get that deep? Is what I want to know.
Let me make sure I'm getting this question right. You're asking me if I discuss my intimate times with my wife, with my friends?
Well, maybe not specifically, but I'm gonna tell you, girlfriends do. Like, oh, have you tried this position? This is the bomb. That type of thing is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Girls go there. So I'm wondering, do men do that too?
Do you get and give pointers?
I would say that I do not.
That's exactly right, Andrew. Thank you, girl.
I do not. I don't. Especially if it's like, if I know your wife, like, I'm never gonna, like, that is so uncomfortable for me to even come back in contact with y'all, right? Knowing that did you do it, like, that type of thing. It's probably
we don't have that problem.
right. See, but there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference with the masculinity part of it too. Just men hold on to their masculinity, right?
Okay.
So
that's good to know. I'm just curious.
I don't know if I haven't reached that level yet.
Okay.
No friendship with anybody. But that's me though. I don't know.
Daryl, what about y'all crew? I know a few of y'all, so
right. Yeah. Well, I can't say that it's a conversation like giving and getting pointers, especially not now in life. But we probably did more of the talking about how to attract a certain young lady versus how to please a certain young lady. So we would have had conversations back in the day, like, man, why don't you try this? Why don't you take her here, or send her this gift or something? The ways to attract the young lady that somebody's pursuing, not so much the pleasing aspect of things. So I would say, well, 100% years ago, and even this day, I mean, you might have a friend that's interested in somebody, want to know how they can get closer to her. You got coworkers that trying to get together, trying on the side, trying to figure out what to do. Should I approach her? Should I approach him? That's probably the closest thing we get to the pointer part. I don't think it's much more intimate than that.
I was curious.
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. That's a good question.
That's a good question. So I'm gonna go back to your dating days. So what was the primary purpose of dating? Was it marriage, companionship, sex, something else? And then when did that purpose, I think you guys might have answered, when did that purpose change? Maybe when you met someone, but what was your primary purpose when you're out there dating?
We got a age range here.
Well, if you've dated a long time, we could go
20s
to 30s, 30s to 40s.
Yeah,
no,
you tell me.
Point.
Look,
even with women, the purpose changes at different ages. So that's true.
Absolutely.
Fairly young. So I would say sex was high on the card in going into your 20s, 21 through your 20s. That was probably more important than anything. And if you really liked it, then you come back, right? When you get to your 30s, you're still single and you're pursuing people. It gets beyond that. Now you're looking for more conversational, maybe even professional. What can she bring to the table? Because in the 30s, you're more established professionally, generally speaking. So now you're like, okay, I mean, I got here, I'm in this good position at work, and I need someone who can help me further this and bring something to the table. So, sex becomes not less important, but it's not like your main focus like you would have been when you were 21, 22. Because at 21, 22, you're like, I'm not.
You care less about the conversation, right?
It's a whole different mindset, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
so about 30.
And then in your 40s, I mean, it becomes much more mental than physical. The older you get, for sure, in terms of what you're looking for. So that's just my perspective,
Right. I appreciate your honesty, and I probably could have figured that.
Yeah,
Michael,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Or you got something different?
No, I think it's probably about the same. I guess initially, I don't necessarily know if I ever went into a relationship looking to get married. I don't know if I've ever, went out with a woman, or besides my wife now. Well, I didn't even start, trying to marry her, but initially, I guess when I was out single and me pursuing any woman, or trying to talk to any woman was probably sex and companionship, probably both of them. And companionship not necessarily meaning a title like you my girlfriend, just companionship meaning that I can have fun with you, right? So
well said.
and then right, and up until, and that's initially how me and my wife started off, right? Initially, it's just we're just having fun together, type of thing. We work together, we're just cooling or chilling out. But it like, again, like any relationship, then enough time you spend with somebody, things start to happen, and I found myself spending more time with her and more time and less time with other girls and stuff like that. So eventually, it just kind of evolved into a relationship, and that evolved into a marriage, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Yeah. So in all this, because the wives were friends first, and then we had a lot of dating going on. Do you think that men and women can be platonic friends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do too.
I do.
I agree as well.
Okay.
It's definitely good.
Okay. So,
Okay.
I listen to Steve Harvey in the morning. He says no. He's like, men always have in the back of their mind, they're going to slip in if there's a crack. If they have a platonic friend, they only platonic friends with somebody who they eventually want to be with. If it never happens, then they're cool. But they always, like, if you don't have any interest of ever getting with that person, then you don't have no interest in being friends. So what do y'all say to that?
Well, I guess for me, I don't necessarily subscribe to everything Steve Harvey says. Let me just start with that.
Right. Right.
So
he a wise man, though. So, a lot of stuff he said makes sense.
I
think so.
I guess I want people. He's successful doing what he does, and Roger that. Okay, so, but I don't know if you can speak for every platonic relationship. I don't know if he has the expertise to speak for every platonic relationship, right?
Yeah.
So for Michael, I believe that because I have been just friends with women that I didn't want anything from, sexually or anything, maybe just being friends, just the friendship, right?
Okay.
So I know it can happen because I've done it, so that's
So
my
we got
thing.
two men who have done it. Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting because we hear that a lot. What Steve Harvey said, we hear that. I've heard that a lot. But I don't think it was true, because I think women can be platonic feel like they're in platonic relationships with a man, but never really knew how the men were feeling. So thanks for
That's what I
that.
want to know.
I think it'd be
like
more
the first time they
difficult.
cry on your shoulder, you're gonna be like, oh, okay.
Right. But it'd be more difficult, one, if you're a single man and you have a female friend. I think that'll add a dynamic that might be more difficult to handle for And of course, like when you're younger, you probably gravitate to people you're attracted to naturally anyway. And
That
so
20 to 30s.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna gravitate to people you're naturally attracted to, and if you can somehow, get through the attraction phase and become a friend with this person, even if you're not into a relationship, maybe it'll work. But obviously, the older you get, and being married, that makes that so much more easy to do. Being a platonic friend, for sure.
Yeah.
I think you can do it at a younger age, but if you're single and dating, that's just the hard thing. But a lot of us got friends. I still have friends in my life, young ladies, we call our sister. We just put a sister-brother tag on it. And so that's my sister from another mother, brother from another mother. I don't know if you guys have those friends out there still, but that's what we did, and that's what I have to this day. But yeah, I mean, that's how those relationships tended to work out for me. But yeah, I think the older you get, the easier it is to do that, for sure.
Okay.
That is great.
Okay,
let's do one more round of questions, and we're gonna move on to our next segment. Go ahead, Angelique.
Yeah, so we're often worried about how we look, that extra little love handle, or you see nowadays women getting Brazilian butt lifts and liposuction and all of that stuff. Give me your opinion. Daryl's smiling. He know where this question going. How do you feel about that physical appearance? Do you have to be the little waist and big butt? Give me some. What do y'all think about that? Or is a little love handle okay?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The little love handle is okay.
What about a lot of love handle?
that could work as well.
Mike fell out.
Look, the biggest problem you're gonna have with
yeah, a little bit,
the biggest
tricycle.
problem you're gonna have with some men is men have a type. Okay, men have a type.
Okay.
If you hang out with a guy long enough and see all of his past friends, female friends or girlfriends, they're gonna be quite similar, generally speaking, in some way, shape, or form. Men have a type. So
Okay.
so don't let them fool you. They have a type. Now we can be attracted to multiple types, but we do have a type. So,
Okay.
yeah, but no, women don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to go out there cutting yourself all up and sucking this out and adding this. That's not necessary. No.
Okay.
For me, for Daryl, that's not necessary at all.
Okay.
Men can get past a lot of that stuff, and
Okay.
and then you can have a really good relationship.
Okay. Yeah, I just had I heard about a couple that in their marriage clause they put 10 pounds, no more than 10 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrible.
True story.
Brutal,
True
right?
story.
Yeah, that's brutal.
On either side, no more than 10 pounds. So when you go out to dinner,
Wow.
he's like, I got no more than
that's
10
tough.
pounds, no
Well,
more
if
than
they
10
met
pounds.
in their 20s, that's unrealistic.
No,
Like,
they
if
did
we
not meet in their
now, okay,
20s.
I'm gonna try
They
to keep
met
it within 10 pounds.
they
But
met
I
in
know
their
I'm 30
older
pounds more than them,
40s.
20.
Yeah, they met a little bit older, but they have a 10-pound clause
Wow.
as part of their marriage
That's
agreement.
crazy.
That's deep.
Yeah, it's deep,
I
and it's
believe
real.
that.
They serious about
I'd
it.
be
It's
like,
real.
shit.
Right.
Now, hey, I'll say this.
Like,
I kind of feel the same as Daryl. Of what, not kind of, but most of what Daryl, I absolutely support that. But this new thing with the eyelash thing. Uh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, tell us about that.
for Michael Hendricks, right? Yeah, I guess it
Okay.
depends on how much you spending on them, and if you're getting them professionally done and you're doing yourself, there's
Okay.
different type of things. But I was at the store. I was at Walmart the other morning, and it was this woman in front of me, nice looking lady. She was walking out. I was kind of trailing behind her, right? And I didn't see her face. I just saw her frame. Nice, shapely woman, right? So she's walking out. I'm trailing behind her with my cart. And she kind of turns to the side and gives me the profile. And her eyebrows was long as the bill on my hat.
Her
The
They were
eyelash.
so long coming up. Eyelashes were coming off her face. So that right there, I was like, man, that's a lot. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can look at you in the face, like, as you do that, bat those things at me like crazy. Like that.
I need to get my card. Give me my card. Hand out my card.
Yeah.
And Charmaine,
I'm looking up all people with lashes, need lashes.
Charmaine said they're fly trap eyelashes.
Yeah.
I've seen
I
them.
mean, there are. It is
I've
a
seen
thing now, right? It is a thing. I don't personally understand it, but it is a thing.
Yeah.
I see them all the time. It is
Yeah, that's.
interesting.
I think we kind of went a little. Sometimes people go a little far. The liposuction, anything that make you feel good, make you feel beautiful. I support it. As long as it's not in excess, right? So anything not in excess is fine. Whatever makes you feel, good about yourself. I don't necessarily mind, love handle or anything like that. But right now, in this current situation, that eyebrow thing just drives me nuts. When it's like crazy off your face.
Yeah. There's a couple comments in here about the 10 pounds. I will say both parties agreed to the 10 pound. That was not a decision maker. That was their agreement. She didn't want him gaining weight and he didn't want her gaining weight. So it was an agreement. And I think that's another thing about relationships. You make them what you want to make them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if 10 pounds is your thing, that's
Reggie
your
White
thing.
Sr. got a good point though. What if she have a baby or something?
And she
Don't gain more than 10 pounds.
maybe there might be a decree in there for that piece of it, but they agreed to that. A caveat in there, but
Carve out.
But that was
I really cannot imagine a man approach me with a contract for one, and for two about how much weight I'm gonna gain.
I think it was part of the prenup.
Half for him.
It was part of the prenup, and she said, and I don't know if she did it, if she mentioned, or if he started how it came about, but they both.
Be thinking about.
They both they're okay with it.
So I guess they're making it plain. I'm with you because you look good, and don't change that, or I'm gotta walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So okay. So Charmaine is asking about hair extensions. I don't know what's the issue with hair extensions, or do y'all like fake hair or natural hair? Which I feel
is that a problem?
Not for me. It's just what the style that you wear. I mean, some styles some people just don't like, right? You might not like braids, or you may not like hair straight, or you know, but getting extensions or weaves, whatever the case may be, if you look good in your hair, that's fine. Yeah, I have no issue with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for me, my preference, because I may be dating I'm an Angela Davis fan, so I like the way I like that natural look, but I don't mind, extensions or anything like that. Like again, long within reason, no excessive stuff. So, but
Right.
if you ask me what I prefer, I prefer a natural look.
And I think
Yeah.
that's fair, because I do think men prefer things. I know my husband, everybody's seen me on the show. I change my hair all the time. And so he usually is open with a little bit of everything. The only time when he be like, okay, now is and women, y'all gonna know, if you get that braid down and then put that wig on, and then you take the wig off and you just got prison braids. That's what he be like.
He called them prison braids. Yeah.
The straight back. I think I heard him.
Yeah. Yeah. Long as it's groomed, right? Like long as it's groomed.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question before we move on about your work, being at work. I know we all have suffered microaggressions at work, but I want to know, how have you coped or even thrived at work, especially being from a Black man's perspective?
Oh boy.
I'm not trying to stump nobody.
Well, it's
I mean, I'm just trying to see if I have any issues to even, talk about. I mean, current situation is good. I have no issues whatsoever. No one's laying over my shoulder. I pretty much have a lot of autonomy in terms of what I have to do, as long as I'm where I'm supposed to be, right? Mm-hmm. I was self-employed for a lot of years as well, so like I only have to deal with myself. So yeah, that's a tough one for me. I haven't really been in a situation where I had to deal with that so much.
That's interesting.
Michael, have you had any issues at work that you think were caused by being a Black man?
Well, I'm retired military, so early in my career, I probably I know it's no problem. I know I had some issues to happen with me, but and I probably didn't handle them correctly. Honestly, I probably didn't handle them the best I possibly could have. But I don't necessarily think that it stopped me from being successful in the military. Not necessarily my race. I think more or less my attitude or the way I did things, because I can be pretty dominant and I can be pretty abrupt. At least in my former life, in my military life, I could be. So I think that probably, if anything, would probably weigh more on my success in the military. That would probably be the reason, not necessarily my race.
Okay.
I wouldn't think that it would, but I know that it's out there.
Okay, awesome. Any last questions, ladies, before we move on to the rapid fire?
No, I'm excited about the rapid fire, and I see we got the facts, right? So I'm ready,
yeah,
Michelle. I'm ready.
Fast. Okay, so our next segment, we're going to ask you both questions, and we call them rapid fire questions because we want the answer straight off your head. No thinking about it. What is your first reaction to these questions? And Robin, why don't you start us off?
Michelle, I don't think I have all the rapid fire questions. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll do it then. I'll be first. I apologize for that. I thought I said
that's all right.
So this is the first question. I'll start with you, Michael. What would your wife say is the best thing about being with you?
That I'm funny. She'll say she has a good time with me. I make her laugh.
Okay. Daryl, what would your wife say is the best thing about being with you?
My cooking.
Oh.
She ain't lying either. Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Hold on.
There's some good going there. Yeah. Okay. Angelique, do you have the questions, or you want me to?
Yep, I sure do. Okay. If your house was on fire, what is the one thing you would grab before leaving the house, Michael?
Well, I'm assuming that my wife and my family is going out the house. So if you're talking about something like materialistic, I'm probably going to grab I'll grab my Jordans, all my shoes. I'll
Grabbing those shoes.
You
Okay.
got your
That's what the
choice.
last man said on the last show.
He sure did. He said shoes. Yeah.
Daryl?
My keys. My car, my keys.
Say you
Your car
drive
keys.
off.
Okay, so y'all can go.
Let it burn down. I'm driving off. Okay. Last question. We'll start with you this time, Daryl, first.
Okay.
How would you let a woman know that you're no longer interested in them? You actually have to think back to your dating days. How would you let her know that you're no longer interested?
I think I'll tell her.
You'll be straight up.
This is not working out. Yeah. I think
Oh my God.
this is not really working out for me.
I forgot. You your mama child. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not working out. We lost
Michael.
Oh,
here
he
he
is. So, Mike, I don't know if you heard the question or not, but
I didn't.
Think back to when you were dating, you were single. How would you let a woman know that you were no longer interested in them?
No longer interested?
Yeah.
I was pretty upfront. I was pretty forward. So I just tell her. I just tell her, let her know.
Okay. So no hitting around. No stop calling.
No.
Not being available. You just be like, look, this ain't working. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it like that. I don't think I'd say it like that. My go-to line at the time was, I got too much on my plate right now.
Okay,
that was your
roundabout way. Okay. But I like it. It worked. Okay.
Yeah, we've got a question before we go on to the next thing. Charmaine asked, if you and your wife really care about each other and can't seem to work it out, would you go to couple therapy? Are you okay with, as a Black man, are you okay with couples therapy?
Well, I've been to couples therapy before, so would I go again? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do it. I'm not opposed. Yeah, I would do it.
Yep. And I actually heard from a guy who's married, whose wife wanted him to do couples therapy, and he did not want to go, thought it was a waste of money. He finally went. And he said it was the best decision he ever made. He was surprised at how effective it was. So that's good that you guys are open to it, and actually signed up for more. He was like, I'm going to go once and see, and actually end up doing like 6 weeks.
Right.
Good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, therapy works, not just couples therapy. If you need to go individually.
Yeah, therapy. Yeah.
Therapy works. Yeah.
And
that's
I think that, more, I was going to say more of the Black and Brown community need to be receptive and open to that. So I really commend both of you, because I think that there is sometimes it's just something that we think we shouldn't do, especially Black men with egos, etc. But to be open to it, because you never know. We did one show with a therapist. Well, they have couples therapy, but one of the things that he said that was really resonated was, if you've already found a woman and put all of this work in, why would you throw it away and just have to start over from square one instead of at least going to therapy and trying? Because you got to work through all of these issues, whether it's the new person or the old person. So at least try the old person before you throw all that away and just start from square one.
That's a very good point. And I see Reggie White Sr., he said something also that is so true. I mean, you don't just go to therapy when things are broke. It's a good thing to do when things are even going well. So
good point.
that's
I think that's when me and my wife went. It was because my philosophy on it is relationships are alive, right? They're alive. These are living things, right? It's two people that really don't. We came into this thing strangers, right? So we're trying to make this family dynamic work, but I'm not related to you, right? You're not. I get to choose you. I didn't get to choose my mom. I didn't get to choose my dad, my siblings. Those relationships are different. But this one I'm making work. So like anything that's alive, you have to take care of it, right? You have to tend and till it, and make sure that it grows and that it's healthy. So to me, that's therapy is one of those avenues that you can take to, even if it's just checking on the health, like a tune up or anything, just making sure my relationship is healthy. So I just want to make sure that it's good to go. So that's my philosophy.
I love that.
I love it. Yeah.
That's a very good way to think about it.
That's great advice.
So in this last segment, before we get out of here, we have something called Facts or Nah. So we have some lyrics from popular songs, and we're going to display them. And we want to get your opinion if it's facts, meaning that you agree with it, or not. They just trying to sell records. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the first one. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so y'all remember the song from Fabulous? The entree ain't as good without something on the side. Okay, what y'all think? Facts or nah?
Nah. I'm a nah.
Y'all better both say nah for them wives at you. Y'all gonna be in trouble like them other men.
I guess no. I didn't
You've
really
been very
understand.
honest so far, so
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, and I think from a woman's perspective, I think it's the same. It's true. I can do without the sides. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so next one. Okay, this is Cardi B. Got to argue with him because he love a toxic chick. Okay, so tell me what y'all think. Facts or not? Do y'all like a little spice, or do you
push back?
I don't like toxic. All right, I don't have a problem with spice. I don't have a problem with a little aggression. You being strong and
Okay.
But I don't want toxic though.
No toxic.
No toxic.
Right. Yeah. I'm not a fan of toxic. Toxic kind of kills. Yeah.
Okay.
But what about the strength and got a little attitude and might snap off kind of quick? Not that any of the women on this call, but
absolutely. So just shy of toxicity.
Oh yeah.
I know for me, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, for me, it's about personality types, right? And what I'm attracted to as far as personality. I don't think that I know my wife can be aggressive, but I don't think that's her nature, if that makes sense, right? I don't think she's a naturally aggressive person. I know she has those traits, but she's not necessarily a naturally aggressive person. So I don't know if it would work if she was, because I'm naturally aggressive, not necessarily towards her, but just in general. Yeah. But I just don't know if it would work.
You'll be bumping. Yeah. You'll be bumping too much. Okay.
Yeah. Right. We'd be bumping like for real.
Okay. Next one, please. Usher. We want a lady. This is actually a Lil Jon's verse in his song. Yeah, but we want a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed. Facts or not?
I say facts.
Okay.
Facts.
Okay, so she's not gonna scare you if she know a few tricks. Is that true?
That's right.
Okay. That's good to know. Because some ladies may hold back, like he ain't ready for this, or he'll think I'm a hoe or something. You know what I mean? But you like bring it on, long as you know how to conduct yourself in public.
Look, if you hold back too long, they'll bust it out. They're gonna be like, "Where you learn that?" Yeah. When you learn,
it becomes a problem. Might become a problem. Okay.
You and marriage here.
Show me everything.
Yeah. Show me everything. You show me everything up front, huh, Mike?
I want all myself up front. Don't come 5 years later. Now you know I do something different. No.
You're 10. I've been holding this back for you, baby.
Like, wait a minute.
Okay. Next.
Oh, Reggie said facts would capitalize facts.
Okay, Reggie White Senior, we hear you. Too funny. Okay, next one. I think there's a next one.
Yeah, there's several more.
Yeah. Okay, Keith Sweat. Let me hear you tell me that you love me. Let me hear you say you never leave me. So this goes to, can men be vulnerable, or do you want any outward behaviors, or just explicitly saying that your woman really wants you? How do you feel about that? Or does it scare you, like, oh my gosh, she needy type of thing?
Well, first, it doesn't scare me. And yet, let me go back. First, yeah, man can be vulnerable, whether they admit it or not. Now, when you get to something like this, I guess you don't have to have this, proclaimed to you, every week or every day or something like that. But, You know, if your significant other does say that, that's a great thing. You know, no issue there. There's nothing scary about that statement whatsoever. But yeah, no, I think this is facts in some way. It's facts, not 100%, but in some way. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. What do you think, Michael?
I agree. If you, I think that's what you're asking is like, does a man want to hear this from a woman, like to his significant other saying that that she loves him all? I think that again, this kind of goes back to the tending and the tilling of a relationship, right? I don't know if anybody's gonna not want to hear that a person they care about them, right? So I think those are good things, just the reassurance that you're still in this with me, you know, that you still love me, you know, because again, like for me specifically, I try to show my wife every day that I love her, right? Because again, this thing is just alive, right? So every day I got to go to work to make sure my relationship is going to make it through the day, right? So now may not necessarily be telling her I love you every day, every single day, every 5 minutes, things like that, but you know, ways to show her or express that I love her, and you know, do I want those things reciprocated? Absolutely.
Okay. Great. Okay, let's have the next one.
Well, wait, before we go to the next one, we got Reggie. He says he feels like it in moderation. But it's still. Yeah, I think he said it's
I can see that.
I can understand what he's saying, because if a man is like, do you love me? How you feel about me every too much? I'm like, okay,
that's too much.
Right.
That's not attractive to me.
It should be felt too,
right?
You don't have to say
you get into the insecurity part there.
Right.
Around following you and stalking you.
Right. It's a fine line between love and stalking.
It is.
I believe more times than not, men are kind of we're doers, right? So we're generally like simplistic beings, right? So we show our love, right, by the actions that we do, by how much time we spend with a woman, whether or not I'm changing my plans. Like when I'm going from being single to being in a relationship, I kind of changed my life to incorporate my now wife in those plans now, right? Initially, I just see you when I see you type of thing, then it kind of progresses, and I think for men, that's our language. We kind of show you that we care and that we're interested, you know, in the actions that we take.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's LL Cool J. I want a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, a Fendi bag, and a bad attitude. That's all I need to get me in a good mood. So
an around the way girl.
Yeah. So how do you feel about a girl who may not be as positive? This is, I guess, have to go back to your dating days, since we don't have a single man that's currently dating. But back in your dating days, were you looking for a professional woman, or did you prefer an around the way girl? What did you end up with? Tell us about your wife.
Michael said he was just looking for women.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
I agree with Michael. Yeah, in those days, you're looking for a woman. You find about a bad attitude, maybe a little later. You find about this a little later. And that might drive you apart down the road. But that initial encounter is like,
you know. Yeah, you don't know about the attitude and stuff like that up front. You know, front it's just the physical part, right? I mean, when I see you initially, I'm just looking at you physically, like, wow, that's a nice looking lady. Let me go see what's going on with her, type of thing. But, you know,
I'm saying, but what he's talking about right here, you can tell from your initial glance if she's an around the way girl by, you know, the trends she's wearing, the attitude came from him asking her to come here. She was like, I'll meet you halfway, that type of thing. So maybe not a bad attitude, you know what I mean?
Right.
Might be saying too much, but you can tell somebody who is an around the way girl and who is not.
I think Daryl
and Michael's I pursue women like that. Yeah.
Daryl and Michael's point is well taken, because they both said they were looking for women. And I think women sometimes get caught up in, oh, I'm a professional this, or I'm a bad this, or I'm a bad that, and I got this, and I got this. And then often you'll hear it come out, because you'll be like, oh, why did he look at her? He don't have what I have. She doesn't have what I have.
Yep.
But I think the point is every, like Daryl said, every man has a type. And you might be what you perceive as the baddest thing, but if it's not their type, it's not their type.
It's not their type. Yeah.
And it wasn't necessary that maybe you was the CEO. He was okay with the roundaway girl. It was
Yeah.
more about what was attracting. So I think women, we have to get out of our own minds about what we're perceiving or thinking that men want, and realize that it because what I'm hearing throughout all of this is a man just wants you to be yourself. Whether it's that little bit of love handle, they just want to have fun and be yourself. And what's surprising is that's often what we want. So
Yeah.
I don't know that this is much different, even though it
Well,
appears.
I agree, but I also think taking into account the age range as well. 20 to 30 is something different. He's just looking for a woman. It didn't matter. 30 to 40, there came some perspective in there, right?
Right.
And so I think that is a big distinction, because we do have young professionals, right? Or people, being a certain way in their 20s as a woman, but if the guy is just looking for a woman, it just didn't even matter.
I think it goes
You
for
could have
age
had
because
sweatpants on that day, even though you were putting so much effort into what Angelique was
right.
saying to be a certain way. But I do think there's a distinction. I got a couple people that are dating, and right, like they're just, well, I used to do this in my 20s and 30s, and it's a little different, right? And they haven't caught on to the transition.
But
I
I
wouldn't do
think
that
that
double standard though. I wouldn't do that double standard, because I don't know, when I was in my 20s, I was having fun. I mean, I was dating all kind of people. So I wouldn't say in my 20s I was just having fun too. I wasn't
I think I
looking
froze up.
for
Did I freeze up?
a little bit, yeah, but
a
that's
little
okay.
bit. I wasn't looking for that marriage. I was having fun. I was going on dinner dates and whatever. So I wouldn't do that double standard.
But I want to bring this to mind too, because, and Angelique, what you said really made me think about this, and what I have seen in my lifetime. But you have seen the professional man be with the professional woman and then leave her for the cashier. You know what I'm saying? People are like, just because you got to be you. You know what I mean? It's what, it's more about being a good person, being somebody easy to be with, somebody open-minded, somebody who is a freak in the bed. You never know what the issue is, but
you really never know.
It's not all about what the woman
Yeah.
does or can do, and the man either. I mean, it's seen it both ways. So,
and women, we do get caught up. Especially Black women, we get caught up. We were raised a certain way, and that's what we were supposed to be, and that's not always appealing. It's not appealing to all, and sometimes we think it should be, and that is not the case.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more slide. Facts and nah. Let's see what it is. And this is Joe. I want to do all the things your man won't do. Okay, so have you ever? This is sort of on that platonic friends question. Have you ever seen a woman going through issues and try to slide in? You know what I mean? Have you ever tried to take somebody's woman? In other words, be honest. Tell me what's up. Is this facts or nah? Would you take this opportunity?
No, for me.
Now, let's throw some parameters on this. Are they married?
No. Say not married.
No married. We're not doing no married.
About, like, some trouble with boyfriend, girlfriend, like back
probably.
in the day, have try to talk. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
You've been the solution a couple of times, right?
Well, I don't necessarily need to be the solution. Like I was like number two. Number two. I don't need to be number one. Number one got to deal with the problems. I need to be number two. Just come to me when you just want to have fun and that type of stuff.
Right.
Like I don't need the stress.
You didn't want to be their man, but you was okay being number two.
Number two. I'm cool with number two.
He was just being helpful. Helpful.
Yeah, you'd be helpful.
That period.
That's what I'm saying. That's that shoulder you cry on and move from being platonic to something else.
No, don't try rapping in that. No.
A separate issue, huh, Mike?
Steve Harden told her she believed that one. Steve Harden said that's it.
I'm more from personal experience too. I've been around for a while.
Okay. Well, okay, my fault.
Right.
It's been, and I mean, and friends too. I'm like, okay, yeah, they friends until they don't have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
that's a possibility.
You gotta understand that.
Yeah.
It's normal behavior. It's absolutely normal behavior for a man to be attracted to a woman, right? Regardless of friendship or anything like that. It's normal behavior for a woman to be attracted to a man. So even if we start out as, I'm just speaking from my experience, I have had friends, female friends, who I haven't tried to do anything with, right? I've had female friends who were round the way girls. I have female friends who, baby, I want to do all the things your man can't do. So
They fit
it
all the
kind of
categories.
varies. It depends on absolutely. It just varies. Depends on whether or not what the energy is, between us.
Now
So
let me flip that. Let me that brings another question. Let me flip that. Would either one of you be okay with your wife having a male friend that was around?
I don't know if I would really
that's
care.
pause,
Really,
really.
it depends. It depends on when the relationship.
Okay.
It was
For
a
me,
pause,
it depends
right?
on when the relationship was, right? Like if
Right
she's with
now.
somebody that she.
Right now.
No, I'm just saying when their relationship starts. Are you talking about she just starting a relationship
okay.
with somebody?
Yeah, if she just had, if she's
saying,
got a, yeah, she's
What if
got
she
a
came home and
relationship with a
said,
guy.
what if she came home and said, Mike, oh, this dude at work, he's so cool. We about to go to lunch. He is my friend. We be talking at work. He's so cool.
We hanging out Saturday.
Yeah, we all are.
Okay, we all are.
No, he paying. He paying too.
We all going to lunch.
We all
going.
We all going. Yeah.
Daryl,
Generous brother. Brother,
that's a tough. I have to say yes though. I'm gonna have to say yes. I got to give her an opportunity to see, to let her be her. Right. I can't have put the foot down type of attitude. I think I would have to say, okay, if you friends, okay, let's see how this goes.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Because if I get uneasy, I'm gonna have to say something, right? And then, because at the point where you're uneasy, like, okay, that's a little too much for me,
Yeah.
You're
hanging out every weekend. That's too much.
Right. It's like, wait a minute, where you going? Where? With who?
Going to have coffee.
Like,
Going to have coffee.
Wait, but remember, 30 minutes ago, y'all said men and women can be platonic friends.
That's right, and that's why I have to say. That's why I have to.
That's why I
there's a caveat.
Right.
There's an exception
right?
there.
I gotta say yes. Yeah, I have to say
Now,
that.
be friends until she start crying on his shoulder. Yeah, then that platonic.
No.
Yeah.
Now we saying
look
friends
what Betty said. Betty Augustin said, "Would you mind your wife being best friend or friends with her ex man? What about exes? Can exes qualify as a platonic friend?"
I mean, in some respects, yeah. Now I've seen it.
Mike's like, no.
I've seen it working with other people. I mean,
yes,
but I'm on the outside looking in, of course. But I've seen a lot of people who have exes and they're the best of friends now. They're managing their kids and things are going well. So, I've seen it done.
True. Yeah.
I've seen it done.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I'm saying, and I don't know if my man is watching, no new friends and no ex-friends.
Right.
I ain't even gonna try to test it like that.
Right.
No new friends, no ex-friends.
Look, wait a minute, because that's slightly toxicity might come out.
Might come out.
Toxic, right?
Right.
Oh man.
Absolutely. That is so funny. Well,
oh wait, Charles.
Charles jumped in. He in there now. The husband has signed on.
He
has jumped in. Charles has jumped in.
Oh, he's in.
Hey, Charles.
You know about that toxicity.
Yeah. He can attest to
it.
He
said no old ones, no new ones.
No old ones or new.
Yeah. Love it.
So funny. Oh my gosh. This has been a great show. You guys have been so honest. I really appreciate your time. I mean, we have a lot of fun here. So thank you for being here and coming to support us.
Yes.
No problem.
Everyone watching.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. Please give this video a heart, share it with your friends and family. It was a lot of jewels in here. I know we may laugh a lot, but we do a lot of jewels as to what men really want from love, life, careers, community, everything. So please share this with those you love. And also, as I mentioned at the top of the show, please follow us on social media. Our handles are scrolling along the screen. And visit us on our website. Valentine's Day is coming up. It's a great gift to give to your woman. This is a gift that will keep on giving all year long. All year long. We have a great time. It's a mighty sisterhood. And it will be something that she would really appreciate. So go visit our website, join now, and check us out. either a membership for yourself or for someone you love. Perfect gift. And so we'll be back. Just Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends. We'll be back the first Tuesday in March, which I believe is March 2nd. We're going to be discussing a topic that is really near and dear to all of our hearts. It's health disparities among African American women. We how can we not be a statistic? How can we pick the right doctors? Make sure they're listening to us. We're discussing it all. So please mark your calendars and join us then. Thank you. Have a great
Thank you so much.
afternoon.
Have a
Thank
great
you, Michael
afternoon.
and Daryl. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Mike
welcome,
and
you're
Daryl.
welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you.